couple. It is, of course, Jason Moses O'Toole and Anders to guide you through this one.
Thank you very much, Alex. What a death segment that was. What do we even say about that?
My conclusion is Sponge, his story about being the gorilla driving the bus.
Yeah,
he always brings it back to the monkeys, doesn't he?
He does monkey around a lot.
Yeah.
It's I really enjoyed that. I thought they covered
You like the penis segment.
I really enjoyed that. I think that was the best part. Well, I think maybe the best part was probably Sponge getting triggered about thinking about his old team. That always makes me smile.
You see it in his face, like a little twitch comes back.
Yeah, he should probably see someone about that.
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
you know,
it's going to be
like
an
a
issue
professional,
down the road.
Yeah, because it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all of this? I mean, this is obviously going to be a bit of an interesting game. I mean, there's no doubt that Na'Vi is the bigger name. They have, just I think pound for pound, they just have more firepower on Na'Vi. There's no doubt about that. But you never know about these domestic type matchups.
No, you don't. I think the cool thing about this as well is, remember, when there were all these roster changes coming through for Gambit, we knew we were coming after the major with Zeus, and Na'Vi was having these issues and weren't being successful immediately upon Zeus's return. Angel's been the name thrown around like for CIS teams of why isn't he the in-game leader of one of these squads? Why hasn't he had a chance of taking over one of the bigger franchises? So a lot of excitement about how he leads the team. And I think maybe even with that interview that Edward did, you could almost point towards HellRaisers and say maybe they even have a strategic advantage over Na'Vi in some way. But I think the tough thing to get over right now is Simple, in his recent form in online games back in Pro League, has been at a level, one of the best levels we've seen in his career. He's been absolutely insane.
Yeah, and that's obviously a real delight. Everybody loves watching that. And then the fact that HellRaisers do have a stand-in means it's going to be a bit tricky. We'll see how it plays out here on Cobblestone. Going to be the first map in this best of 3 with Na'Vi starting on the CT side and HellRaisers on the T side. They do have a smoke and a Molotov on Dead Fox, so maybe they could set up something interesting here.
Yeah, Zeus takes an early peek out towards long and sees everything that's coming. That's why you can already find Edward rotating over, Simple taking up his position towards B platform. So Flamey and Zeus are going to be in the A bomb site. Edward cheating over. That's a nice tag onto Angel, down to 1 HP at range. Here they come hitting the bomb site. Flamey going to work his way around the APC, getting an easy headshot and a follow-up. And this is very clinical so far from Flamey. These are beautiful shots he's coming out with.
He's just hit nothing but headshots up until this point. And Angel and Mosek, they're just going to have to fall back. They can't even do anything. I mean, what were they going to do? He had all the space he needed because that Molotov is behind him up on the plateau or up on the balcony, so he was not going to get any backup, but he just had all the space down there, no pressure on him at all. It looks like there's not going to be much of a chance here for HellRaisers to even get the bomb down. That's annoying.
Yeah, it really is. The funny thing is you just face off against Flamey, who is incredible with amazing shots, and then you have to go back to the bomb site, which has Simple in it. So you just can't win right now if you're HellRaisers. I think the interesting part about that, we can hold on a little bit. We'll see if HellRaisers can make something out of this, because Woxic is actually going to get a kill onto Simple. Now a 2-on-3, and there's Angel with one. This has become very doable.
Somehow Flamey's gone down after his triple, and they will eventually close it off. That got way too close. And it's one of those things where they've got someone on the team has to remind the rest of the team they still have to put the bomb down. So let's just play on that, you know?
Now, here's the interesting thing about this play from Flamey is you could see him just there as he glances over. He's worried a little bit about that ramp. Because he did so much damage to Angel early on in like an early skirmish from range, Angel couldn't be aggressive. So Angel's kind of designed, if he comes up that ramp, he's able to start taking shots at Flamey, and Flamey doesn't have that space to get all the headshots over towards, that half wall, that fence. But the fact that Flamey wins it so much just gives him a lot more space, so that's quite nice. It did get closer than expected, but obviously the pistol round, there's not a whole lot of economic implications, and Zeus almost getting caught out. Fortunate to get away with his life, down to 38. An investment from HellRaisers in this round. The Deagles are out, so are the CZs, and a small bit of utility as well.
Yeah, not really a big surprise considering the outcome of the last round. And nothing surprising happening from Na'Vi. I love ranting about how little the CTs can do on this map when they're on the, when they're on the defense there. Did see a little bit of a forward push from Simple, and I think if we can see more of that later on, then that will get me excited. I think it is just very hard to come up with creative defense on this map.
No, but it also shows a pretty good theory, obviously. You'll see him rotate. We saw it in the pistol round. As soon as someone cheats over towards A, you want to get that long-range spot. Now he's kind of in no man's land, though, because they're coming out drop, but Edward's going to save him, and Simple gets one kill. A little bit blind, but handling things well. A very narrow angle, and that's where those Deagles are going to go to work, but his teammates have come in at the correct moment. It's going to be 2-0, and that investment from HellRaisers Anders did absolutely nothing. Did 0.
Didn't really work out. They obviously had the idea, and sort of what you want to do coming down the drop on the plateau is to try and make it very hard for the CT side to cover all the angles all at the same time. But you're right, there was a bit of backup coming in the drop, and that sort of cleared it all out. So 2 rounds down, third one coming up, and with a bit of luck, most it's going to be even less exciting because there's this time they have nothing at all to work with. HellRaisers.
Yeah, they really don't. Just Glocks, which I guess is not the most surprising thing in the world after they just lost that second. Nate doesn't do damage. Edward wants some money, though, and they're going to line up for him. He's going to get 3 kills. He found everything he could have liked, some of that cash money in the bank, and Simple.
He has to fight his own nature. You can just tell.
Yeah, I know. He's arguing with himself almost, isn't he? Must peak.
It's the moment of split personality when he really wants to go for that last kill, but he only has 3 health. So great job on him. Some personal control in not doing that.
Yeah, some self-discipline. You like it. That's just easy for Edward.
And the fact that Edward dies means Simple is just going to throw that M4 over and then buy the AWP. So, or Edward buys it for him, whichever way it goes, but they can just sort of swap it around really easily. So pretty good stuff there.
Yeah, because Edward probably would have dropped that anyways. They still have 2 UMPs on the board, so no reason to take a massive risk and have 3 SMGs. So, yeah, it all works out in the end. Molotov, that's an interesting one to stop the rush. Actually, I haven't seen that one before. When's that started being a thing?
It is a thing. You can throw the reverse one using the little sort of roof there to sort of get it down onto the boost box. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I tried for a long time to Molotov the room that's next to drop room.
Yeah.
By bouncing it off the tree, which you can do, but it's so inconsistent, which is not good, obviously. They've already got the opening kill, which is very good news indeed for HellRaisers. Angel picking up that one, and now puts a lot of pressure on the Na'Vi side. And because they have so much time, HellRaisers, this is where you really have a lot of opportunity when you're on the T side. There's so much you can do right now.
I'm actually surprised that Simple has rotated over towards the A bomb site and not taken up that angle on B platform with the AWP to get the early spot if need be, and also use the range. There's only 1 smoke on HellRaisers. That's on Woxic, and that is perhaps the most damning part of this round for them. Good kill from Electronic, but they think it's going to be a B hit, so they need to get back, and actually, it's all on Simple now. He's got to perch up in the bomb site. Edward's here to help, or Electronic, excuse me, is here to help out, but Simple misses his opening shot.
They're all pushed up at the back of the bomb site. This is not a good position. Electronic already going to go down, and Simple to fall next. No chance at all. HS is going to take him down, and Edward just has to back off and save the M4. So, yeah, nicely done from HellRaisers. They get that opening kill, but they don't rush it. They don't sort of just bounce in behind it. They play it out really well, and now they just ended up standing at the back of the bomb site with no information. Well,
the timing of that rotate was really awkward when Electronic started leaving with, I forget who it was, I think Zeus with the other UMP, where that's right when HellRaisers was starting to get re-aggressive towards the A bomb site. So even though there's 1 kill from Electronic, since everyone else had already started rotating and cheating towards the B bomb site, there was very few places they could have gone to when they get back towards A. So the first round goes to HellRaisers once the rifles come out. And we'll see if Na'Vi can scrape anything together. It's going to be a solid buy as you see some of the guns being tossed around. They'll be sitting quite nice, and Simple's got an AWP in his hands once again.
I absolutely agree, though.
Ooh,
if they have, that could be interesting. I feel like it's not always as good as it should be here on the CT side, but it can work.
I think the crazy thing is, actually, I think the double op in general for Na'Vi on CT sides has looked way better than people thought it would with Simple on the secondary AWP. So that's kind of cool. Especially on Inferno, we've seen some cool stuff out of it. That's a good timing for the nade, but the rest of it now, he's got to just fall back. Smoke in the choke point, forcing out utility early. Flamey is on the hunt.
Think about what an incredibly exposed position Flamey's in right here, and he still picks up the kill on Angel. Angel's got to be furious right now. How do you expect someone to be there? He had nobody else covering him over at that long side, so...
That was like a 50-50 play. He gets a kill or he's just wrecked from behind.
That's got to be so annoying, but big risk. And I actually think you have to do that playing the CT side. I mean, maybe not exactly like that, but you have to put some risk into your play. If you just played standard, good chance the Ts will come out ahead on a map like Cobblestone, sorry. It's 3-1 at the moment, and we're down under a minute with, pretty good defensive setup right now for the CT side. This boost for Edward, a little bit hard to spot, and as you said, that second AWP on Simple over at the B bomb side, and now they're in trouble.
Yeah, they really are. This Molotov going to really bother Woxic, and unfortunately, Edward doesn't have a timing on the peak, so he does get taken down, but Simple is there to trade, and HellRaisers is left with just 2 players in drop. And they know if they want to get out of here, they have to go towards Simple. He's got an op zoned in on this exact angle. Misses the shot, though. They actually beat him to it. The other op is there, and Flamey's not going to miss. And now with an AWP at both sides, Dead Fox fighting his way out every step of the way. Tagged up by nades, going for the shot at Simple, and it's not going to happen. So Na'Vi, the rebuttal here in this 5th round, and get back to the winning ways. And they reset that losing bonus, and also I don't think HellRaisers has the money to invest here.
No, they don't. Like a bomb plant, even with the bomb plant, they probably wouldn't have been able to do that.
It would have been sketchy.
So this was a round that where the double ops work exactly like they're supposed to. They shut down any kind of offense before it even gets close to a bomb site. So that's great news.
Yep.
But you keep in mind the rounds where it doesn't work, where they have to retake bomb sites with it. If that can be really tricky. So let's see if we get around like that, because I think that's the downside of having them on a map like this.
Especially if you miss the timing of the rotation, you're locked out by smokes, because both bomb sites can be really, really hard once the smokes go down to those double doors. Just the Glocks again for HellRaisers, and it looks like Woxic and Dead Fox, they're going to be more aggressive, and that's exactly what Flamey did last round, and Zeus is the one who gets punished for it. Sometimes life isn't fair.
Definitely not. Run over with the Glock, and Flamey going to have to crawl on out of there. Flames right at his back, Edward picking up a good killer. Just has to stay alive at this position. That's really important. And he's going to go down. That opens it up. Now they can get on the bomb site. No idea why he wanted to keep pushing that. They didn't have the bomb down yet. Simple's going to get one kill. He can't get the no-scope in. And Dead Fox trying to see if he close the round right then and there. But the bomb is still in control of Electronic. So even though they have the man advantage, they have to deal with the fact that they don't have armor. And he has got a pretty good position right now.
Simple actually got the leg shot on that no-scope, which is pretty incredible. And yeah, the bomb being down is real tough for HellRaisers. Electronic using the angle nicely, just trying to have some information before he has to commit to a fight. And they're being very cautious about this.
If they line up, it's done. There's the M4 easily taking care of Dead Fox, and Woxic on the other side, taking a tiny bit of damage. He's got the AK, he can do it. He gets a shot through the wall. Headshot on Electronic, and that's all he needed. So big win there. Woxic coming up right now with, what, 9 kills and 4 deaths? That's very good.
It's huge, and also that takes the money away from Na'Vi. I think Electronic really kind of miscalculated that angle of what exactly his vision would be, how deep he could go. I think he thought he could see Woxic much, much clearer, and gets beaten in the 1v1, but almost able to pull it back for his team. But that's really, you can't even fault him too much when you consider, I mean, there's only so many times you can take that risk towards long A of just one player not being aware of what's coming behind you. They did it 2 rounds in a row, and this time it punishes him. But that's a huge blunder for Na'Vi, considering HellRaisers just brought Glocks into that round. That was just pistols.
Yeah, that's the sort of round where you're not even really expecting to win it. But you get that one AK picked up, and you just roll with it from there on out. And I still think they could have held on to it easily, even if they gave up the AK-47. I feel like they panicked a little bit in trying to defend the bomb site where the bomb wasn't even being planted yet.
Yeah, they did a little bit. Edward probably overextending. I mean, it is one of those things when you're a player like trying to help your team recover from like a early loss in those rounds where you know they just have pistols or Glocks. You always think that kill is going to be like an easy one, and unfortunately none of those were. Zeus has found a cool timing here. Must be nice for him. Going to try and get this flank. And Angel is currently clearing out long A as well, so Flamey's finding his own timing. They just have to make sure. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Just a little bit of sneaky play. Yeah, they're going to go back and look for him. That makes perfect sense to me. Still, maybe looking for a headshot here. Taking down Woxic is definitely a good start. But yeah, he did get spotted, unfortunately, going through. So
I was watching the minimap. They had like 2 flanks going on. Flamey was wrapping around long A as well. Oh well, that's it for Na'Vi. It's going to be a third for HellRaisers on the T side. Clawing themselves back in, looking to tie things up into the next round. And as long as they don't lose, 1 or 2 more people at the end of this round, their money should start blowing up, considering they got a free one, essentially.
Yeah, all they need to do is keep all the rifles alive. If you're HellRaisers right now, you do want to build a pretty strong economy because, yeah, you have to imagine almost that Na'Vi just are going to try and save for the double AWP right away. I mean, is there any reason for them to do anything different at this point?
It depends on how much money they're going to have in the next one, because Zeus is going to have enough money to buy. Electronic and Edward will be right on the edge. So, yeah, they could go for another. It depends on how much confidence they have in their Cobble, Na'Vi. I imagine you'd want to at least have 1 AWP, right? Like, you at least want to get 1 on Simple. So, we'll see. I think they'll end up saving next time. That would be the conservative option.
Ooh. Angel.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I'm wondering if he plays with left-hand models. Because otherwise, I think his gun would have probably blocked off spotting out Edward, was it? Because he's obviously covering the gun from Walk 6 down, so that all makes sense. But from our point of view with the spectating mode, it looked like the gun was in the way, and he saw it anyway. So I'm wondering, that could have been an awkward way to go down. But pretty good job, yeah.
Yeah.
4-3. You know, in 1.6 you could play with like Hut Zero, so you had no gun showing.
Yeah.
I sort of wish they'd bring that back.
Why?
Just because it was fun, you know.
I think that's so ugly. I think we should have a show match or a game where the pros all have to use no crosshair.
Oh, yeah.
See who's got the best aim.
I'm in on that. That was a really good idea. Straight headshot taking down Simple, and they do have a tiny bit of investment into this round. Nothing serious, but you know, diffuse kit there on Electronic, maybe save for the last round, and it will be Zeus going down next in line. So HellRaisers with a bit of a quick punch towards the B bomb site. They don't sort of extend all the way into it before they get a couple of kills, and they clean it up without losing even a single member. So they're going to be very excited about that. That's 4-4 now, and a tied scoreline.
This is where it can get sketchy. If you think back to that Edward interview before the game, he said something like they fall prey to their emotions. Like that's still one of the big issues they deal with. They allow their emotions to kind of overcome them and cloud the way they focus and play the game. And all of a sudden, if you lose a round against 5 unarmored Glocks, and now you do a half buy and you can't get any of those kills and you don't get started in the gun rounds, all of a sudden those emotions are going to kick in. So this is pretty big. And Navi, remember, they went to the op in the 4th round as soon as they could buy, and then the next round they bought a double op setup. Well, here they're not able to have one of those weapons that they've obviously shown is kind of a key pillar of their defense.
I'd get a little bit emotional if I lost to Glocks in a round like that.
Yeah, you and Daze both.
It doesn't really require that much, actually. But yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully they can bring it back. At least they know. At least they've figured out that that's one of the issues, and I guess that's the first step. Oh, that's a nice peek, almost taking down Flamey. Just waiting for it. I feel like Angel is such a hard character to pin down in the CIS scene because he has sort of times where he does very little, and then he has times where he just has incredible games where he just like controls and takes over a huge part of the game. And I guess it's just too inconsistent, but I do still really like him as a player. Electronic goes down next here, so now it's a 4-on-4, and they're starting to slowly creep up. They've got that pinch on the A-bomb side, and Zeus is entirely alone. Going to get the spray down on the HS, but he needs to do a lot more work. Has to get one more kill, stay alive, and get the backup in there, and nobody's moving out of the B-bomb side. They don't know what's happening yet. Navi very confused at the moment, as Zeus is going to be going down as a result.
Yeah, it was tough because I think they were really hesitant to rotate because they know Bondic had control of this area, so Edward's got to take his time and clear it out. If he finds that kill, there's a chance. He has a kit, and Simple's got a big flank coming up this area. This is a must kill, and he spotted out Bondic, the pre-fire, and there's the win. Without the kit, he'd have to go chase it down, and in a 1-on-3 Simple, I don't think he's got a shot at it. Just going to fall away. Yeah, that is a tough round. First Flamey not realizing he's overexposed. Yeah, I mean, even on an individual level, even if Angel is not having a good game, he's certainly doing something good in terms of his branding as an in-game leader. He seems to be a hot commodity in a region where it's funny to say that the CIS region is maybe underperforming because we're so used to having them have like Navi be like a championship contender in the early days.
Yes.
But I mean, they did have like 4 teams at the major, 5 teams at the major, or something mental.
Yeah, and I think the really shocking part of that is even how many of those players you hadn't even heard of before. So that's obviously scary if you in considering how much of the old guard is still playing. If you pair some of the old guard with some of these new kids that are coming up and doing well, yeah, the result could be pretty dramatic, I would say. 5-4, so HellRaisers taking one step in the lead. Now it gets odd, Moses.
It does get real weird. Scout is purchased up on Electronics. Simple still has that M4 and half purchase on the rest of them. Zeus, Edward, and Flamey with the CZs. The losing bonus is at 4 rounds, so it's not maxed out quite yet, but they're going to be buying next round no matter what. And HellRaisers with a chance to really start piling on and build this lead. They're going to go for a timing through mid. It's a stack towards the B bomb site for the defense, and actually Angel right here calling a very nice game, just saying we're just going to walk up, we're going to play contact, everyone be quiet until we're spotted, and they might be able to catch Zeus off. Meanwhile, you can see HS over at the B platform.
Just save.
Yep, waiting for the smoke to clear. Wants to take weapons away. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, now if you're Navi, you have that salvaged AK, you have an M4 still, and you just don't, there's no need to go for it.
Yeah, as soon as Zeus goes down, the round is over, and you're right to point out, we didn't really see it because we were watching the B bomb side, but you're absolutely right. They were walking up that A ramp, making no noise. No flashbangs thrown, no smokes. So Zeus just comes back to check middle, and he just runs right into some gun that's waiting for him.
And it's cool. Every T side is going to have like a round or two on their T side where that kind of a play will work perfectly because the defense, once in a while does send 4 people over towards B, whether it's they want to get aggressive and drop and boost someone up, aggressive on the B platform. Maybe they're defending against a retake, or defending against a rush, excuse me. But you're going to have that 1 or 2 rounds per half where there's only one defender early on at A, and that play works quite nice.
The M4 the AK are gone. The reason why I don't like Na'Vi buying in this round, I realized that they weren't going to be able to go for a full buy, so they sort of went half that way there, and in this round they can still pick up an AWP if they want to. I just think when it's only 4-6, like I'd be pretty happy if I was Na'Vi having 4 rounds right now. I think this is great. Like all we need is the double or back, and then we can get 2 more rounds in, and it's at like 9-6 on CT side. We've done a pretty good job. So I don't understand the rush to try and get these rifles in that last round.
I think it's like you said. They stacked the B bomb site, and they said, if they come B, we have a chance. It was a half investment because the full losing bonus was going to be there if they lost it. And they just wanted to see if they could catch them off guard. And then obviously the plan was to save the rifles from there. That didn't happen in any sense. But, that was the idea behind it.
Yes, indeed. Round number 11. And a bit of a standoff here between the plateau and that long into B, and you can tell it's very tricky for Na'Vi to find any information about what's happening. They really don't know now. They finally flash over and Simple takes a peek, and that's definitely something to work with right now. Are they going to try and put on more pressure? Just the fact that they know that a couple of people are out there is going to help them. In fact, that is even drawing back Flamey, and even Zeus, I think, is starting to fall back. They're really putting a lot of people. Zeus is going to stay in A, but just that little spot there gave them the information.
I think it's because also remember, a lot of these rounds, HellRaisers has been taking over A halls relatively quickly. They've had some nades, some flashbangs into that mid-choke point before the double doors, and they've had 5 players this round all towards the B bomb site this whole time. So Zeus is just like, yeah, this is different. We're not feeling any pressure whatsoever. There's no presence. Flamey, head over towards this B bomb site. Just be there to help him out if need be, especially because Simple with a scout, that's going to be tough to utilize in a fast-paced execute.
Yes, it will. Gets the body shot in. Easy enough work here for Edward to follow up that kill. Dead Fox takes down Electronic, and Edward sliding off the box still picks up the kill. Flamey with the headshot. It's looking a lot better this time. Edward picking up one more shot, and now they just need to hold on tight. Jump comes in, and Wosik able to take down Edward as well. I have no idea why they're doing this now. With 9 seconds left, bomb is being planted. Zeus is trying to get in there. Around the corner he goes. And Woksik now just down to 3 health. He has to hit this shot. Zeus is crouching in, and he's going to be able to get it. They win the round regardless, but that was much too close.
Yes, it was, and that was expensive. That was very costly. At one point, a 4-on-1, I think it was. And I mean, Woksik able to pick Simple out of the sky, the follow-up as well. That's why you can't make those mistakes, because this is an economy that is not established. And now winning this round, losing bonuses reset, money goes down to blank. They're going to buy back up into it, but there's going to be nothing behind it whatsoever. So very costly victory. And if you're HellRaisers and you lose a round like that, that's the way you want to lose it, in a one-on-one. So this can dictate a lot for the rest of this half. If HellRaisers is able to win this, then they have a real nice shot at getting up towards 10 rounds in this half and having a really dominant T side. Especially considering they lost pistol, remember.
Yes, they did. A bit of a smoke, a bit of a double stack towards middle here. Always a good idea. It is dangerous because that position that Zeus is in does get Molotov fairly easily. And maybe we'll see something like that. At least Simple is back on the AWP and Electronic with the Mag 7. Not such a bad weapon on this map, especially in that drop position. You could definitely do a lot of damage with it. But HellRaisers, I would say the pressure is on them now to regain the economy and to start winning the rounds again.
This should be 1. Oh, there it is. Good trade, though.
Not bad, but still annoying if you're on the HellRaisers side there. Just the Mag 7 doing that damage.
You're okay because, yeah, I mean, it probably is annoying, especially for HS, because it's just like, what can I do when I turn that corner? But the good thing is, Bonda gets the trade, so you thin out the defense. You force them to cover more than they're really able to, so they have to make a really solid read. And then also, you prevent them from salvaging that AK-47 and falling back, which is quite nice. We'll see at the moment. There's a nice pick off on a Simple. That's what I mean. When you're a player down, you have to find the intel somewhere. So HellRaisers hitting the pause button, just knowing the peak is going to come in eventually, and Woksik holding the angle. It's a disaster. This is the nightmare scenario, Anders. This is where now the emotions kick in.
Yeah, and we've been talking about that. I mean, there is definitely something a little bit unstable about the way that Na'Vi are playing this game at the moment.
I think it's, I mean, I guess maybe funny is not the right word, but I
Go on.
do kind of find it funny. I mean, that he says that they still, have trouble with controlling their emotions during games because they've had that issue. I feel like for 8 years now. You think they'd figure it out eventually?
Maybe
Take some yoga together, hire the Zen master, read Phil Jackson's book, whatever it might be.
I would love it. You remember that scene from Bad Boys 2 where everybody has to do like these sort of mental
Wusa?
activities.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Maybe they need something like that. Some of those balls, Moses, that you can sort of juggle around
The
your
stress
hands.
balls.
Yeah.
All right, put the stress in front of it before you go down to juggling balls.
Listen, I didn't start this. It was the desk. It was the analyst.
They've put.
It's always the analyst. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, it is. I can't go too hard on them. I've been in their position before. I've started some weird conversains on a desk.
Is it a similar thing? The emotions just get to you. You just can't mentally keep up, and then
Yeah, the emotions, the excitement. Once one person starts talking about their childhood fantasy of Jessica Rabbit, then it all just gets derailed. What did he say? Because I know they were talking about movies for a little bit, and I wanted to chime in because yes, Chad, it was Remember the Titans. That's left side, strong side.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't believe when they were talking about speeches, and all of a sudden he said, "Bring it on." I thought he was like making a joke, and I was laughing along with it. And then I came back to the camera, and he was like dead serious.
Everything about that segment was just shouldn't have happened. I feel like.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's a lot of good moments, especially from Chad. There's one moment in particular that I really want to go back and clip for my own pleasure.
Is it when he you just know he got triggered? What was it when Yanko said? Sometimes because players just never remember what you practiced the night before, and you just heard Chad just like facepalm.
Yeah, you could tell that the PTSD was creeping back into it.
Yeah, his soul broke a little bit there.
I just told you last night how to do this.
We talked about this literally 1 hour ago.
Yeah, the pain of every in-game leader, I feel like. So definitely interesting stuff. We do have a player that's been disconnected and now should be coming back into the game. Then we can resume. If you're just joining us, then you should definitely stick around. In fact, you should just clear out your whole calendar for the next 10 days because, I guess 9 days.
We've done it. Join us.
Yes, definitely join us. There's so much Counter-Strike. This is so interesting, right? This is like a marathon tournament.
Yeah.
And there's been so much talk about it. And I do think it's true to some extent that, like, if there is an upset, I think Duncan made this point on Twitter. If there's an upset in this format, then it's a legitimate upset. Like, no one can sort of say, oh, they got the lucky best of one and, it's an odd map and all the rest of it. No, so this is a great test. It really is.
It's going to be intense. I was talking to Cloud9 last night, and I remember saying to them, with the format, since it's BO3 Swiss, I was like, yeah, if you don't make it out of groups, like, you really earned being eliminated.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't make it out of groups, and that wasn't pointed at Cloud9 in general, but it's just, a hard tournament. There's no real excuses. It's not just like, we just played 2 best of ones and, got wrecked and had a bad day, whatever it might be.
And, I mean, we talk about the players, obviously, which is the main thing, but when the analysts are already, off the rails, and it's only like day 1, you have to imagine what's it going to be like on day 5.
I can't wait. Well, I think day 5 is... No, day 6 is the break.
All right.
So yeah, day 5 is going to get rough.
Yeah, they get
but they'll have some light at the end of the tunnel there.
It's always good.
I've been with them for a week. We've all had a rip roaring time. I don't know.
You've been in Copenhagen, right?
I have been in Copenhagen. I haven't gone out to see you yet. I know you're just outside city limits.
Yeah, I'll invite all of you guys up. I'll make something for dinner, whatever you guys like. I'll make it. I'm pretty good at cooking.
I already told you my one condition for you making me dinner is that I want it to be the dish you'd make your wife if you could go back and have a first date. I want like the go-to dish for a first date.
It's like a really impressive one.
Yeah.
All right. I'll make you food like I was gonna marry you, Moses.
Okay.
Cool. We can figure that out.
I want you to wine and dine me.
Yeah, we'll work on it. We'll have everybody else there. I mean, so
it won't get weird.
So it won't be exactly like that.
We'll have witnesses.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant to say.
Well, Angel's back in the server just as an update, so we've got all 10 players in, just waiting for confirmation and probably a quick match medic to give him his gun and his money back, and then we'll get going.
Yes, indeed. What do you think? I mean, which map is going to be eliminated as the next one? Because my hope is obviously cobblestone, but I feel like it won't be.
I would like cobblestone to be gone. Mostly because I don't really like the map to begin with, and then since I've been in Copenhagen, I'm doing North American EPL, which means that my broadcast hours are midnight to 7 a.m.
Yes.
And I've had a couple nights where I've had to cast a cobble game at 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. and that is a whole fresh new circle of hell
Yeah.
that I've never experienced before, and I don't want to do it anymore.
All right.
So yeah, let's take cobble out. I feel like there's another. I actually like Nuke. I hope it's not Nuke. I'm one of the few people who's in the Nuke fan club.
Yeah. They just updated it, right? So,
they added some
so it
new
feels
stuff.
like that makes it less likely that they're going to remove it then.
Yeah, I haven't
I
seen
feel
it
like
yet.
there's a weird chance that it'll be cache.
Yeah,
Because it's the only
that'd be
non-Valve map.
Yeah, I guess that would be like the dark horse, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the only map that they don't control 100%. So
Yeah.
I think that could happen. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't have any cool inside details. No one ever does.
The funny thing is, because I'm doing the North American Pro League, because like all the North American teams just had like massive roster changes, especially at the lower tiers of EPL. There's only like 3 maps that are played. It's like Mirage, Cobble, and Inferno are like the only 3 maps that you really see. I think we've had a cache once in the first week, maybe twice, but it's just like a rotation of those 3 maps. So to me, the map pool is only 4 maps.
Well, maybe one day it could be Moses.
Yeah.
There was a time when people had discussions, I remember, about there being sort of 9 maps instead of 7.
People still want that. It's insanity, isn't it?
Oh, man.
Let's not do that.
I mean, especially not when the online season of Counter-Strike is so long, right? Like, if it was shorter, then maybe you could cram a couple of more maps in there, but the way it is now seems unreasonable.
Or maybe the next major, we just get 7 brand new maps the week before, and we just,
Oh, I love that.
cause chaos.
Get rats in. I want to play rats again. I really enjoy that.
Scouts knives.
Yeah. Well then, we're back in the game. It's round number 13, and the scoreline currently is 7-5, favoring HellRaisers, which, I don't know, maybe it's kind of even right now, but if I was HellRaisers, I'd be gunning to win the last 3 rounds here and make it 10-5. Then you've got a pretty good lead, and you have a good buffer in case Na'Vi start going really ham on the T side, which I think they will. I think they're going to be more dangerous there.
The worrying sign for me is that Simple's been quiet. Even when he had the AWP, he's largely been neutralized, and the past week that we saw him play online, he's been a god. He's been getting 30 plus kills. I think he had a 48 kill game. Granted, that was like triple overtime or something, but he was near unstoppable, and we're not seeing any signs of that whatsoever here. So a good game plan being put together by HellRaisers, as we did watch them all. Ooh, that's a double kill from Electronic. That's nice, and maybe if he gets walk sick, this can turn around, but he's just holding that angle. Dink anyways, though. Get down into a 1-on-2.
That's a little bit dangerous if he could have got that kill, and you're right, it was a headshot. Who knows what could have happened. Now, Edward does have a smoke and a little bit of armor, so maybe he could find a kill. If he could find Woxic right away, that would be something to be interesting. Picks up the AK, but this position for Bondek, it's just so hard to check if you're trying to come into this one. It's not that it's really sort of clever or anything, but it's just so hard to check. And he's going to go down. Woxic picking up the kill, making it a double for himself. He's doing a fine job still with 16-6, actually out-fragging everybody in the server right now, which is, that's almost sort of par for the course. We've been talking a lot about Simple and everybody else, but, he's been having a great time this year as well.
He's a young player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so he's a young gun coming up. Yeah, this is a very good game plan. Very good game he's playing, not plan. Especially with the AWP, really neutralizing things early on. He hasn't been challenged with the AWP in a number of rounds just because Na'Vi hasn't had the money. And I think this goes back to your point earlier about, the weird buy that you didn't necessarily like, is they've never gotten kind of control of their economy since then.
So you're saying I was right?
Let's not go that far. I don't actually want to speak those words, but I guess, roundabout way, yes.
All right, I'll take it.
I don't want any sound bites out there.
Fair enough. You've got to be careful with that. Never know what can happen later on. Stack towards A where nobody showed up, so I think it's a fair enough gamble for Na'Vi. What else were they going to do in this round?
Yeah.
We'll bring in a 9th round for HellRaisers, putting us in round number 15, where I feel like Na'Vi have to try and find a way to win that last one so they can sort of stay on even terms here.
If you look at, this is actually crazy. Na'Vi's only won 2 gun rounds in this. Like, thank God they won the pistol.
Yeah.
Even the next round, they're only going to have a 3-round losing bonus. They're not going to have that great of a buy going on. So this is looking to be a pretty dominant half. Maybe not necessarily score-wise. It could be worse, I guess. But just the fact that it's been essentially, since the gun rounds began, it's a 9-2 run. That's very impressive behind Woxic and behind Bondic, who's at 13-6 now as well.
Yeah, absolutely well done.
I don't think we've seen a timeout either from the Na'Vi guys.
Don't want to get too emotional during that timeout. It's better if no one speaks. can't fight if no one's talking.
Yeah, you can't fight if you never pause the game.
Best relationship advice.
That's not true at all, by the way. You can fight plenty.
Yeah, with complete silence. Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Sometimes the silence is louder, Anders.
It gets very dark all of a sudden. Round number 15 here, last of the first half, and Flamey, very common position. Trying to see if he could maybe find someone sneaking through the smoke. That would be great.
This is a really ballsy defensive call from Na'Vi in this last round. 3 players at A. Not only are they at A, but they're dedicated. Flamey's got to do some work, and he's only able to get 1. And now, essentially, HellRaisers just has to hit this bomb site. Electronic is on his own for quite some time.
Yes, he is, and they're slowly wrapping around him. Su's going to be there to try and help him out, but he's still got at least 2 angles to cover, and that is right about 1 too many. Grenade landing right at his feet. He's going to run into the fire to get that kill and almost gets a second one. He's going to burn alive. He actually did pick up the double Woxic going down, and it will be a double kill here for him. That's so well done. A huge risk, but a calculated one, obviously, coming out of Electronic. Angel and Bondic now. No bomb plant with 45 seconds here. The bomb is actually a little bit stuck in the back. He will make the cross happen. Simple taking down Bondic. And now Angel all on his shoulders here in a 1 versus 2.
This is doable, though, especially considering the HP of Edward. That's a very easy kill to get in the wrong moment. He's going to slide out. There's Edward. Simple with the next peek, and he lands the headshot, but he's brought down to 15. Very close for Angel, and somehow Na'Vi make that work. Great play from Electronic inside the bomb site in the flames, getting that second kill. You have to say, though, small mistake from HellRaisers. They threw the Molotov. They do everything right, but no one was actually watching for Electronic to peek. I don't think anyone thought he would swing out to the right. I think they were probably watching the other side.
Yeah, I think that was the logic, right? So they were thinking, if anyone is there, they're going to be coming out this way.
Yeah.
And assumptions, don't want to be making too many of those either. 9-6, and moving into the second half here. I feel like this is a pretty good scoreline for everybody involved. Everyone could be satisfied. Obviously, star of the game right now is Woxic.
Yeah, he's been playing great with that op. We'll see how he can do it on the CT side. Obviously, been put in good positions, and he was helped out a lot by the fact that HellRaisers did a good job of getting some opening kills, which means once he gets the op in position, he can just wait for someone to walk into his crosshair, and that's frequently what happened. You can see there Edward on the other side of things. Actually, I believe, no, right at the end, Electronic and Simple both join him in the double digits club, but decent game overall. You can see there only a couple kills for Simple with the AWP, 4 total compared to the 10 on Woxic.
Yeah, that's a huge part of the story right there, and I think you even mentioned it halfway through that Simple didn't really seem to be doing all that much.
After round 5, I don't think he really had the AWP, so there is that.
Oh, missed shots coming out. Woxic picking up 1, but he's going to get shut down, and Dead Fox in the corner, and he's got no way out. Flamey did it in the first half, and here he comes again. Triple kill for him. All of them headshots, and he's just a beast in these pistol rounds. As a player, that's worth so much if you have one person that can just be that. Simple going to get a headshot as well, and they know where HS is coming from. In fact, they've got 3 people waiting for him. And Electronic, even though they could just focus on a bomb plant here, but they kind of want to finish it early. And HS, oh, he's going to punish them for them. Excellent double headshot, taking down Flamey and Electronic both. And now Simple escaping back through. He didn't spot it. I thought he saw that. That could cost him a lot. Simple, right on the edge, gets the headshot, picked up that P250, and that's going to be a double kill and a round 1 for Na'Vi. If we get a replay of that, I think you can actually see his heel sliding in behind there. Yeah,
very, very small. That's a ballsy repositioning from Simple, but this doesn't need to happen. I mean, those are 2 very bad fights to take. If they both swing and then they both get killed fighting them at the same time, sure. Like, you could still say it's not necessary, but at least they did it together. That was just 1 by 1 and almost punished for it. But both pistols go the way of Na'Vi, and they're still behind in this game. Got to come back. It's an investment from HellRaisers. Armor, CZs, the 5.7 on HS, couple smokes as well. 3 MAC-10s on Na'Vi. We'll see how that goes.
Certainly means they have a lot of people they can throw into a bomb site without, really risking too much. which if you end up, especially over that plateau side, I feel like that's always going to be great news. But it feels like they're going the other way.
Yeah.
No one's discovered Woxic yet, so we'll see what he can do.
I don't know if we'll have the flank timing. How aggressive does he want to get? He's going to come around the corner pretty soon here, or he's pausing and hesitating. And meanwhile, they're already halfway up the ramp. You can see on the screen there, Zeus leading the way, about to smoke off the doors with that MAC-10. He's going to jump through. They haven't spotted anyone on the defense yet, so Woxic now becomes a flanker, and Edward's going to take him out. Nice awareness to check on that. And how much does HellRaisers really want to risk with that pistol armor?
Yeah, I would say especially at this point, just give it up. But super heads up play for Edward. That might not seem like it's all that much, but they had already been up middle quite a long time, and it maybe wasn't that likely that anyone was going to be in that position. So pretty good job on his part. Yeah, we'll make it 9-8 now. Na'Vi slowly creeping back in, winning that pistol round. Obviously a huge deal. And what I think saving the guns just makes so much sense here for HellRaisers. There's really no point in trying to sort of steal one more MAC-10 away.
No, and obviously even having the 2 smokes, and you can bring those forward. So you can do something creative, maybe try and stall them out for a little bit towards one of the bomb sites, maybe use the smokes to just always keep the B bomb site potentially perpetually smoked off and rotate everyone towards A and stack that side of the map, so you can kind of try and funnel Na'Vi in that direction. Not the likeliest of outcomes, but at least it's an idea. At least it's somewhere you can go. Na'Vi's still going to be happy with this. 2 more MAC-10s still that they can use. They can sacrifice for information. They can use to create space for the AKs. What does Zeus want to buy? I think an AK was dropped over for him. Either way. 8-9, Na'Vi recovering from a tough first half once the gun round started. And that's really, I guess, where you've got to be interested to see where this game goes, because HellRaisers is certainly winning the game in terms of just pure rifle rounds. They've been obliterating Na'Vi.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big test for them if they can continue that kind of form on the CT side. Obviously, the same problems apply. That's sort of a jack-in-the-box type play there. I kind of like that. Just making the jump up. Simple and Electronic going to pick up a couple of kills each, and Edward, you can tell, he is not really afraid of anything here. That really is, I think, that's just the power of having that MAC-10. You really can just sort of cruise into bomb sites, and when they don't have any armor, or especially if they don't have any head armor, it's a pretty good job. Yeah,
you can be fearless, and I mean that's kind of the great benefit of them. Is it's one of those weapons that can't really turn the tides of some of these rounds if you lose it. So it's just also finding the information of where the stack is. And it looks like Na'Vi actually wants to hunt some of these guys down. Zeus and Flamey have HS, Bondic, and Angel boxed into the B bomb site. And I guess if you're Na'Vi, the only people you really want to send after him would be someone like Edward and Electronic. But here they come. They're going to start moving forward now into the connector, around the pillar towards the double doors. Zeus still patiently waiting. That's all they have to do. All they really have to do is just keep them into this bomb site for these 2 players to try and go find him.
Yeah, and that is pretty much what the strategy is. You can tell Edward jumping and shooting is just fine, but they do lose Electronic in the meantime, and Bondic actually does a great job. Angel with the double at the end, so slightly more expensive than they needed to, and they get that AK stolen on Angel. That wasn't what we were hoping for.
No, they found a way to make a mistake. They did it. Instead of just sending the MAC-10s in, Zeus tried to join in at the end as well. Gets taken out. A couple nice shots from Angel. AK-47 salvaged, and look at that. It's going to allow HS to have $2,200 after the buy, all things considered. And they've got 2 kits as well. Full utility on 2 players. And here's Woxic with the AWP. We saw out-opping Simple in the first half, 10-4.
Yeah.
This time, I think he definitely spotted Simple, but didn't get a shot off. And Simple is not slowing down whatsoever.
No, he's so quick running up there, but he will be going down. Dead Fox making his way back. There's no reason to peek this. That would be madness. You're already playing 5 versus 3. This is the first rifle round. Whatever you do at this point, just don't give up any kind of kill. That is not worth it. Stack the bomb sites. Try and play defensively. It seems like Dead Fox is very intent on sort of still being a little bit aggressive, and Zeus gets a kill on Angel.
Yeah, they're not taking your advice. They're not forcing Na'Vi into a commit towards one of the bomb sites. Fighting in drop zone. Bondic not able to trade that kill. Zeus is brought low. It's all down to this angle from HS on the stairwell. Molotov out to force him away, and he's players in position to punish, and actually turns from his own flashbang, and he gets taken out. Now the hit is on. It's a 3-on-3, and Na'Vi, they've Bought themselves back into this round. Edward's going to add a headshot. Plant's going to come in any moment, and Woxic with the AWP. This was a 3 versus 5, and it's turned into an absolute nightmare.
I'm so angry, Moses. This is unbelievable. Dead Fox and Woxic now. 2 versus 3. The bomb is down. And Na'Vi swinging back into the round. Invited back in by HellRaisers. We have to admit they left the door open in the middle of the night. And now it's all gone horribly wrong. They're duct taped to a chair, and it's really ugly at the moment. Electronic now hiding in the back here by the chicken coop, and Dead Fox trying to make his way in. He's going to get shot down. And Woxic, he's got nothing left to do. Has to run with the AWP, no armor as well. And that's going to be a round 1 for Na'Vi.
Oh, no.
That you just don't ever want to see ever again.
You really don't. I say they don't need to fight in drop zone because you can just play contain on the CT side. You know they have to commit to a bomb site. You have a 5-on-3. Take positions where you can, you want to spot drop, obviously. You just don't need to fight into it because all you need to know is if they're going to go towards A or towards the B bomb site for your defense to kind of set up, and then you can just buy time. You can make sure they have to take really awkward fights. You drag them into the multiple different crossfires you can set up, and HellRaisers, they find a way to lose.
Yes, they did, and that's where I feel like you have to look to the leadership at that point in time. There has to be someone who yells really loudly and says, "Just stop fighting." Whatever you're doing, just stop doing it.
I don't know. See, I wouldn't even put that on the leadership. I would just put that on all the players. Yeah, maybe I guess you have someone who just says, "Don't take stupid fights." But it's always hard. It's like don't push the red button. You always want to push that red button.
They have to be more scared of the leader than that's how it works, Have to have a system of punishment, Every time you do that, you just lose 50% of your salary that month.
God bless it all. That is a lot of money.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they'll enact it after this event. After this series even. Angel, is he going to get Molotov'd out? Yep. Great job by Edward, wow. Although not the ensuing fight after that. Angel's CZ has had a couple good rounds here. And they've actually rotated Woxic with the AWP and Bondic here. So there's a chance, and that's going to help out. Flamey goes down, and all of a sudden, HellRaisers might recover from their mistake in the previous round.
How's that even a headshot from Bondic? They're still going to be having a little bit of trouble here. Bondic very low on health, and they do have a Molotov. Zeus is going to put it in the other side, so Bondic is going to stay alive. Maybe a bit of a shame. Could have been an easy enough 1 versus 3. HS is going to be going down, and they clear it all out in the end. So just a bit of a scare, but they will survive it. Not going to be having a double up on the T side after all. So 9-11 here is the scoreline, favoring Na'Vi. It's all good.
I mean, we talked about Woxic out-fragging Simple with the AWP. Well, that time it's Simple winning the straight-up duel, and that was kind of the big key to Na'Vi winning, because Woxic was the big danger point. If he has a couple CZs surrounding him in that bomb site, keeping players away, and he gets free reign with the AWP to re-peek, that would have been huge for the defense there. 9-11. We're wondering what this HellRaisers defense would look like, and it looked good initially, just a monumental collapse in the first gun round. Here they need to get on the board. This can start slipping away very, very quickly at this stage of the game.
Oh, Simple! That's going to be a straight kill on Woxic. He's got no chance at all. You see him lining up, and we've seen that wall bang before. And now Woxic has as well.
Yeah,
he actually got treated to a bit of a lesson there. Obviously, tough teacher, Simple, but he's going to remember that.
Yeah, he definitely will. That's unfortunate. Great job from Simple opening things up.
Yeah, it's no tuition. You just pay with your life, Moses.
Don't need to dock pay. Well, Dead Fox now. I'm interested to see how aggressive he wants to get with this AWP to try and find the equalizer, because it looks like he's really, really on the hunt for one, and that sometimes makes it worse. But at least he's got information. Edward, ooh, that timing is really awkward. Nice shot from Dead Fox coming through, and even the follow-up from Bondic onto Zeus. A couple isolated duels for Na'Vi, and they're down a man again.
A deep breath here on HellRaisers. Na'Vi, you're right, down a man, low on time. That's the really big factor here as well. 30 seconds to try and get onto the site. Now they've lost Flamey. Electronic gets one in return. Simple with another one, and just like that, it is a 2-on-2 with 23 seconds. The bomb is making its way towards the site. There's a kill on Electronic, and now it's Simple. Out in the open, putting down that bomb. No fear at all. AWP in the back. He's almost down. Just 3 health left. And all they need to do is push him at the right time, and this should be easy. A flashbang, And they're both going to go on the other side. There's the kill mid-air on Bondic. He goes for it, he misses the shot. And Dead Fox going to be able to take him down. A moment of just fear there in the eyes of Dead Fox. Going to make sure to get that kit as well. Would have had time either way, I believe, but HellRaisers barely win that round. 1 versus 1.
I really do, and those kills from Dead Fox come up huge. That one onto Edward over towards A-Halls, and obviously the final one. I thought Simba was going to do it. Yeah, that's peace.
Just, oh, there he is.
Who is this bitch?
The Undertaker is back. Oh, you love it, don't you? It's been a while since we've had another.
Oh, we need one, don't we?
Yeah, we need. I mean, we need. Just the first requirement is simple back streaming.
Yeah, it really is. He's been very. It really is a new simple. He's been very kind in interviews. I don't like it. I want it back.
Yeah, I'm starting to grow worried as well.
Yep.
I feel like it's we've been cheated out of something beautiful and magical that we all enjoyed. Let's see. Bit of covering fire there as they do have HS right on the edge. Could go for a bit of information peek, but he's gonna fall all the way back. Not interested. Oh, good timing for Bondic. That could have been better.
I mean, a double kill with the Famas. You're going to take that all day long. Flamey, though, with the response. There's some precision on Angel. Not distracted by the fact that Bondic came from the left side. Still, again, another round, HellRaisers has an advantage, and they really need to win this one, and they would love to win it cleanly. Remember, that previous round, the first round they've won in this half, came down to a one-on-one, so they need a pretty solid win here to build up some money for this CT side. Woxic with the AWP inside that B bomb site. HS playing on the stairs, the stand-in for HellRaisers. He's not doing too bad, all things considered. He's down at 12 and 16, but he's had some nice rounds.
Obviously, very tricky when you're standing in. I think especially when you're playing on the CT side. Just getting the rotations down right, not easy when you're the odd guy out. It's covering a nice position right now. There's only one Molotov on Edward, so if he throws it anywhere but in that corner, HS might have a chance. He's going to fall back immediately. They saw that for sure. And now they're going to try and see if they can combine for a kill on him here on the stairwell. Edward's still living. He's got very little cover here, and he's going to go down to Woxic instead. There's the follow-up. And just a great close of that round. 4 members surviving for HellRaisers. So for finally, here in the second half, something actually working for them.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Famas was apparently working as well. Bondic with those that 2 kill was a nice way to start the round to make things much, much easier. Now they salvaged the AWP from Navi, so they have a double op setup. HS did a really nice job of not committing to that fight and kind of, I mean, Edward was frozen, but not only that, it's luring the players from drop out into the open where he knows he's got support from Woxic back in Chicken Booth. And that's kind of what we touched on when they had that previous 5v3 that they ended up losing is, you know, you don't have to take the first fights you see in that scenario. Lure them into your teammates, lure them into these crossfires, and they did a much better job of it that time to tie things up at 11. Tactical timeout coming out of Navi as they talk things over. They're kind of put on the back foot in terms of money. Everyone, 4 players sitting right around 3,000 before the buys come in. Simple, very low. But it looks like there's going to be a small investment. The pistols, some utility, kind of just a set piece to see what they can find.
Yeah, they got some Molotovs as well. Maybe you could get the bomb plant down and again, do some damage. If they can pick up a couple of kills in a round like this, that's still a pretty good win for them. Double up on the other side. Dead Fox and Woxic both able to do something. Dead Fox alone over at long. Not really too worried, it seems. And this stack on B should be pretty good against what's coming. Only 3 of them have armor, so 1 good grenade and Edward and Simple are going to be almost out of the round.
Well, getting drop control is the first step. Woxic readjusting because he knows Bondic has passed along the information. HS has got to do something, but again, Woxic has got a bait for him. That first kill is going to do a lot, but that smoke prevents him from peeking out and helping his teammates too much. It's very awkward. There's some good trades coming in, and Woxic not able to find anything else. That'd be a huge kill, but Edward's not able to handle it. That's kind of all the danger taken away from there. Re-peek from Woxic, drops him 12-11. HellRaisers take the lead again. They take it back.
Yeah, they do. And it seemed like, I mean, obviously you have to expect it in a round like this that there are not going to be that many Molotovs to throw on Woxic, but now that they know he's playing Chicken Coop, you have to expect the next round, if they go to the B-bomb side, they're going to have a Molotov save for that, because you can't really let him up forever in the back line there.
No, you can't. And obviously, I don't know, was that because that wasn't Woxic smoke. I know that smoke that he kind of used. I know coldzera loves to use that smoke when he plays that position.
Yeah.
But that felt like, I thought it seemed like it was like Navi's smoke. That
It
they
was,
wanted.
I think.
Okay. So I'm not going crazy quite yet.
No, not yet. It's only day 1, Moses, so
Day 5 is kind of where we set the bar, I think.
give it time.
I think it's going to be day 3. Nice kill from HS as he gets blind, but he had the lineup previously, and this is going to be a split. He's all alone now. He's got to do more. That's a nice kill. Trying to control the spray, doesn't come in, and this is where the double op makes you feel crappy.
Yes, it does. Retaking never a fun time, and actually Simple going to get that kill from the other side against Woxic. So both the ops gone. Na'Vi win the round, and we're back at 12-12. So it feels like it could be a close game here. I mean, it is a close game, but even more so.
Yeah, definitely down the stretch.
Why did someone make a statue with a kid wrestling a fish? Is there some symbolism I'm not really following here?
Have you ever seen? I forget what it is. I've never actually done this. There is that. There are like these fish you can do in the South in the States. They do this like you go hunting for fish with your hand. I forget what the name of the fish is. The ones with the big mouth and they like hide at the bottom of rivers and everything, and like the sand. And you
Cops?
Yeah, it could be. I don't think it is though.
All right.
I'll look it up. But anyways, the reason why I think it's crazy is because they're big fish, so they're like heavy, and you have to be strong to pull them out. But what makes it really insane is there's also snapping turtles in these rivers. So if you
it's
stick
like a lottery.
you stick your hand in the wrong mouth.
Snapping turtles really scare me.
Yeah, they can take a finger off.
Yeah, but also they're really fast and their necks extend quite a while, don't they? Like so, they just yeah. Maybe we should do that one day, Moses.
No, I'm good.
Be real men for a while and sort of go to the south.
Definitely don't want to do that.
All right. Fair enough. We'll figure something out.
We can do a lot, like, we can do something different. I don't know what it would be. I don't want to go fishing with my hands for potentially snapping turtles.
All right. I think you sold it. You sold me on the idea. I think it sounds cool.
There's some YouTube videos out there. You can see people being idiots.
All right. Well, that's for the break. 12-12 and the 25th round here. So we'll see what happens. Simple with the AWP, just a deagle on Edward. Very scarce buy coming in here for the HellRaisers side. But I'm wondering if that AWP on Woxic is going to surprise Na'Vi. They might not realize that he had money for that, actually. Seuss going to be running in. The flashbang was so good, but he still loses the fight. And from beyond the grave, just reaches out.
You love that. A demigod. He's laughing at him a little bit in chat as well. Why not? Rub it in. This we didn't touch on this. We were talking about fishing for snapping turtles apparently, but this is a huge investment. This is a huge risk for HellRaisers. They have no money outside of this, and while they do have an AWP and an M4 still, I mean, having it being this scrapped together, only one kit, running low on utility. The Opera has no armor, so big implications here. We'll see if Na'Vi. This might be a chance for them to really kind of grab hold of this match down the stretch. They have all their players towards this B bomb site, no one at A, and that's also where HellRaisers has 3 members, so this is going to be a battle.
This isn't so bad. There's no one coming drop, so Woxic could have a lot of chances to use this AWP. Edward going to get the headshot on HS, and now there's a lot of trouble. They're coming in from too many angles. This time he's going to get shut down from Simple. Electronic goes down in return, but this is still great for Na'Vi. A huge risk here taken by HellRaisers, and might not be paying off after all. There's the kill, no chance at all. Bomb will be going down, and Angel tries with the gun just to try and see if he could maybe push someone into any kind of a peek, or if they were looking, maybe have them look the other way. Simple is going to get the last kill, making it a triple, and oh.
That's what Chad looks like when he thinks about his teammates not remembering strategies.
Oh, there are so many jokes that you can make with that I just can't do.
13 to 12. Let's move along. Move along swiftly.
Please get me out of here.
That tough buy in the previous round comes back to bite HellRaisers. Nothing they can afford really here. Woxic and Bondic both at 23 kills. Simple has climbed up to 22. A quiet 22 it feels like for him. It's outside of that spam. So no money for the HellRaisers side.
You really don't want to be in this position because you realize when you're HellRaisers, even when you can buy rifles, at that point Na'Vi probably will have a good enough economy that they can afford to lose a round and still buy, which is really annoying. So good chance that even if HellRaisers have put up a really good fight and won a lot of the rifle rounds, they might not get there after all.
Yeah, this has been a pretty tough CT side for them. Some couple blunders, especially after such a nice T side that they had. That was an incredible game plan they came in with. Edward having some fun in mid. There's basically one last chance for HellRaisers. They're going to buy into the next round, and they'll have a 3-round losing bonus. So they should have a pretty solid buy. The op might be have some scarce, like maybe no armor, maybe light on nades and everything, but they can put together some dangerous stuff, HellRaisers, in the next round. So that'll be their last chance to really fight for this game, for this map.
Yeah, Bondic actually got the kill with the UMP, just to point that out.
Ooh, that helps.
A little bit of bonus money for him to work with. But
yeah, he might be able to even drop an AWP over with the money that'll come out.
Especially if you get one more kill. I feel like, especially given how well Woxic played in the first half, and it's not like he's played bad in the second half at all, but I wish he would take slightly more risks with the AWP. I feel like I want to see him push for the opening kill and then play defensively. That's
sometimes, I think that's what comes down to leadership, because I think this is where you see like young players kind of shy away from that a little bit, because this is, big tournaments where the pressure, no, there's not like some massive stage, no, there's not like, 10,000 fans or anything like that to really apply the pressure. But the big moments in a close match is when some of the younger guys sometimes, get a little bit more passive. And this is where you'd hope Angel maybe, if that's the route they want to go, Angel is actually telling him, go take a fight somewhere, go find somewhere to get us a pick. That's where you'd kind of see him get proactive early on, I think.
Yeah. Or we'll find you. It's obviously a good thing I'm not running a team.
It's all about money with you, isn't it? Just taking the money away.
Yeah, take the money. But if you do get the opening kill, you get 10% more.
Double or nothing.
Very hard to keep track of in that game.
A lot of percentages flying around. 12-14. There's not even an op. They didn't go for it. They have 5 M4s. Helps with the nades. No kits though. No one bit the bullet on the HellRaisers side, and that could come back to haunt them. Woxic is going to get first contact. How does he want to play this out towards A halls? He does have a smoke, so if he can get away fast enough, there's the peek from Simple, just pre-firing the angle, and maybe with more fortunate timing, he could have caught Woxic with those shoulder peeks.
There was an opportunity. They don't really have to spend too many grenades here now really to sort of take this part of the map, so they're going to be quite happy about that. And over on the other side, a little bit of information trying to be gained there from Angel, who is every once in a while looking into to be long. So that's really good. That's really all I want out of that kind of position. So now he's fallen back in, and now they're really in the dark, HellRaisers. They're trying to make up for it with Dead Fox peeking in the middle over on A. They need something.
It's kind of weird that Angel gave up that angle once Bondic started rotating away. You'd think he'd want to keep that just so they could have the right read on where Bondic needs to rotate, but he's playing right outside drop zone. Dead Fox is all alone in mid, and Woxic doesn't have a flashbang or anything to help him out, so if Dead Fox gets in trouble, he's could be screwed. Oh, there's a nice smoke, though. 33 seconds. That smoke timing is quite nice. That'll expire, right around 18 seconds, I think, left in the round. So this could be tough for Na'Vi. They can only leave Zeus to come through that smoke. The main portion of this attack has to come from A halls, and here it is. Flashes rain over the utility. Plenty of Molotovs in the hands of Na'Vi. A great opening kill for Woxic.
Yeah, did get the immediate headshot there. Electronic goes down. Flamey's next, and it is looking good for HellRaisers. There's only 9 seconds left, and they got no chance at all. The bomb is dropped in the middle of everything, and Simple. Very good player, obviously, but this 1 versus 3, no way he's going to make it out alive. Time has expired, and he goes down after the time, which means he does not get that losing bonus. He still has the money for buying, so might not be the end of the world, but it could at the end of the game here.
Yeah, that could have big implications going down the stretch, because Edward is out of money. He's going to need to drop this round, and I guess that's almost what they have to decide. If Simple wants an AWP, he can't drop Edward an AK-47, and that's what's going to happen. So timeout coming from Na'Vi. Great defense by HellRaisers. Obviously, that first kill onto Woxic is critical, because otherwise Dead Fox has to kind of fall back and watch both.
Hence the expression as greedy as an Orpo Moses. Picking it up for himself.
Is that actually an expression?
I don't know.
Are you trying to make it one right now? Is this more of your meme it into existence theories?
I've become more careful about playing with the power of meme magic, Moses, because I realize now that it's...
You've had a couple.
It's beyond any one human's control. So once you unleash it into the world, you just don't know what happens. Now Danish Counter-Strike is awful, and you know, Americans are winning major tournaments.
That's karma, though. Did you ever think maybe you ruined Counter-Strike for the entirety of your country?
Yeah, at night I do wake up sweats, you know.
Shaking.
My wife's saying, what the hell is going on? I'm like, it's all ruined. I did it.
Players just leaving teams with no warning.
Yeah. It's a hard life that I'm living at the moment. Simple. He bought that AWP, couldn't drop for a teammate because of it, and he's pushed very aggressive, and it was for this reason. He misses the flick. In fact, he's going to double up on the aggression. You don't see many people trying this. Like most people, if they take that risk and it doesn't work out in the first shot, they just give it up. But Simple's different.
No, but you absolutely love that, because look at what he's done. He's forced 2 smokes out at 1:30 in the round.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. He's done great work there, even without dealing damage. Quite a nice small victory for Na'Vi to start the round. 2 smokes left on the HellRaisers side of things. They do have kits this time, which is quite nice. No presence towards the A bomb site. Just Edward watching the flank, and slowly Na'Vi's going to start applying some pressure. Flamey working his way along the wall. Botnik and HS are going to mount the initial defense. Molotov going to slow things down still. So utility on the HellRaiser side still just being used for delaying.
Yes, it is. And they've done a pretty good job so far. 35 seconds on the clock. They still have another couple of smokes. Counter flashes are coming out as well. HS can't really see anything just yet. He's going to have to go really big up on this box. Gets one, tries for the spray transfer, but he's not quick enough, and he will get shut down. Electronic with a kill from the UMP now. The bomb is being planted in. Dead Fox and Boxic, they have to just run for it here. That's going to make it 15 rounds for Na'Vi, and the money for HellRaisers is going to be so miserable.
Oh, it is absolutely shattered. They'll be able to drop some, maybe a UMP, but that's about it. This is great from Na'Vi. Just very, very simple down the stretch. And obviously, those 2 smokes ended up being huge. And I think part of the reason why Na'Vi hits that B bomb site is because Zeus realizes they just used 2 smokes really early on, right at the same time. So they're going to run out of that utility to block that choke point. And when that Molotov expires, there's nothing to hold back the flood of Na'Vi. All 5 players just jumping out of that broken wall, extending along the platform. No one from HellRaisers was on the other side. No one was in chicken coop. So it's just basically, you know, a very narrow angle that Na'Vi has to deal with the defense, and everything goes their way.
15-13, 1 round away from picking up map number 1. And HellRaisers, they did such a good job in the first half. I feel like they've been playing a good game overall, but now they've just run out of money.
Yeah, that which is unfortunate. They've had some good stuff, especially on the T side.
It does all come down to money in the end, Moses.
Yeah.
I always suspected.
I knew it.
I knew it. Just ask Chad about that.
Chad's, you know, I'm gonna lay off Chad for a little bit. We gave him a hard time at dinner last night. You weren't in town yet. We got him good there.
So then I missed out.
You did miss out.
I want in. Woxic down to 60, 65 on Bondik. We've got the UMP, the MP9 in play. That AWP, that's the only weapon they have that's really worth anything at this point. So I feel like that's what you have to make it. You have to put it into play. You can't just sort of sit somewhere and say, well, I hope they show up here.
No, but at the same time, if you put it into play the way it is now, HS can leave. So they can actually cheat someone else over. So even though it's not going to be involved in the action, right, it's not necessarily going for some kind of aggressive pick, it's allowing you to stack the defense elsewhere, although that's not ideal. Bondik falling is kind of going to freeze HS here and exposes Woxic to a new angle. So things do get more complicated for him. Na'Vi, with control of drop, they can slowly just decide where they want to go. It's a nice pivot point of the map to apply some pressure, and here's Electronic dropping down. There's the peek from HS. They were waiting for it. They read that like a book, and Woxic with the op can do nothing, and this is going to be it, Anders. This is going to be the opening map going to Na'Vi as they wipe out everyone.
Yeah, what a great showing in this round, just exactly proving the power of having that drop control. You're absolutely right. Flamey goes down, and it's pretty much all over here. The bomb will be planted, and Woxic is locked in. Electronic with the final kill, making it 16-13. In favor of Na'Vi. So, yeah, they were looking unstable, and we were sort of a little bit frustrated with some of the choices they made in the first half, but they made up for it.
I mean, they got obliterated in the first half in terms of pure rifle rounds, but the second half was quite nice, and it starts that blunder from HellRaisers, right? Losing that 5-on-3 very early on in the half is pretty heartbreaking. But I thought it was a well put together map by HellRaisers, and I think that's promising for the next map as well.
It is. They did have a stand-in as well, and they didn't do a really good job in the pistol rounds. So
yeah, they lost both of them.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. So there's a lot to take away from this. We've got to give them some credit for that as well. Does that mean we're going to go back to the desk? I worry, I'm afraid to say so, but I think the boys are back.
You think so?
Yeah.
The Denim Boys?
The Denim Boys. Let's find that. All right, we're going to go to commercial break first, and then we're going to do the Denim Boys, so stay with us.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
Again, Guardians keep making it happen this time. It's the quick scope! This is unreal! Anything is possible. Anything is possible! Usillo is a monster, Tom!
Back in business then, as we do get to